Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99 podcast, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel, joined today with Slothy. Slothy, how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty well, thanks. How about yourself?
Oh, not too bad. I've been just spam playing a video game lately in my spare time, so I'm tired from that. You said before this you were talking. Anyone listening, I'm playing Diablo 2. It's just a really fun game. It's, old game, but the remaster of it is just so fun. I can't stop playing it, so I've had a little bit of time off on the weekends, no extra work, so I've been having a blast playing that game.
Yeah, that one's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I've sunk thousands of hours into that game over my lifetime. And then you said you were playing a game too?
Yeah, I was playing just MLB The Show. Been really into baseball recently, so...
There you go. Fun game or what? I've never tried any of those ones. Yeah,
it's really fun. I'm doing their kind of be a pro mode. Drafted by the Tigers, which kind of sucks, but you know.
I played the only game I've played like similar to that was just like I've used to play like the Tiger Woods one, and like their campaign mode is always really fun. So I think they do a pretty good job of those in those games. But anyways, we're here to talk about another game this fine Sunday. Magic, of course. And yeah, do you want to let everyone know the deck we're going over? This is another one of Slothy's decks here.
Absolutely. So this is Abdel Adrian with Agent of the Iron Throne. So I'll read the cards and I'll kind of say what the deck's trying to do. So Abdel Adrian, Gorian's Ward, is a 4/4 legendary human warrior for 4 and a white. When Abdel Adrian enters the battlefield, exile any number of other non-land permanents you control until Abdel Adrian leaves the battlefield. Create a 1/1 white soldier creature token for each permanent exiled this way, and it's got to choose a background, of course. And the background is Agent of the Iron Throne, 2 and a black. Commander creatures you own have, whenever an artifact or creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life.
That's pretty cool.
I quite like this pairing. This deck is very impressive. Kind of tries to hold off everybody else until you can get a combo finish with something like Animate Dead, which goes infinite with Abdel Adrian or something of those lines.
Well, yeah, because I was going to say, it's every time it enters, it gets rid of any non-land permanents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can blink like everything and you get soldiers for your blink, so you constantly have token fodder, protection. I really liked all of these commanders from like the Baldur's Gate stuff. I really, really liked the uncommon cycle of them. I thought they put a lot of just really fun stuff into it. Yeah,
and I really can't get enough of the choose a background. It's so much fun.
Yeah, and they can expand on it so much, right? Like I doubt they're ever going to give us True Partner again. It kind of breaks stuff like they did another version of it like recently, like they did all the Sakashimas and stuff like that, and then Sakashima's in every deck that can run it pretty much all the time, right? It's such a good card.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's I don't think we're going to be getting another version of Partner for a while, right? Maybe some Partner withs.
Yeah.
But these backgrounds, they really do make they really do make the game interesting, and it gives them a chance to kind of essentially take over the Oathbreaker format if they wanted to, right? Like they can say like choose like this, the spell can be a background, right? Anything can be backgrounds with their new mechanic.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that, but yeah, I'm just in love with these new choose a background commanders. I've built so many of them. This is one I actually hadn't built. I put this in a few decks that do similar things where it comes in blinks, but so I'm really excited to see how you go with this. You said you've got some infinite in it?
Yes. Infinite 1/1 tokens with Abdel and Animate Dead type effects, which Abdel enters the battlefield from the graveyard, targets the Animate Dead, creates a 1/1 token. Since Animate Dead's gone, Abdel will go back to the graveyard, which will bring back the Animate Dead, which will let you
so you can just
bring back Abdel.
Endlessly do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Until you're done with it and bring back whatever you want permanently.
Yeah, exactly.
That's actually really cool. Oh, and you're from the command zone as well. Mm-hmm. I still breezed kind of past that. It's early in the morning for me. But Agent of the Iron Throne is the 2 in the black. You have the drain in the command zone. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so literally Abdel will kill the table if you have that out with that combo. Mm-hmm. Whenever an artifact creature you control is put into a graveyard, each opponent loses a life, and he'll see himself go to the graveyard.
Yep.
Yeah, so Animate Dead is a kill the table loop, infinite, tokens loop if they don't die to damage. That's a really cool card. I assume Animate Dead is in the list?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Where do you want to start with this list? I think this is a cool pairing.
Let's start with the sorceries. There's only a couple of those.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. First sorcery, one of my favorites. I'm gonna be saying that a lot in this list, by the way. Exsanguinate, X, double black. Each opponent loses X life. You gain life equal to life lost this way.
Great card.
Yeah.
It's always fun to, even with 5 in that, generally it's like you gain 15 life. It's a lot.
Yeah, it adds up really quickly.
It's a very expensive uncommon too. Like it needs a reprint pretty badly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so good. Like any deck that can generate lots of mana is really, really good. And I love playing cards like this. The other thing I was going to say is when I was scrolling there, I looked just a little bit at your list. And last week we saw you build outside of your like play style, right? With the land theme. This seems a little more on style with how I know you build.
Yeah, a little bit more. It's, for those of you who know, I love playing more of an oppressive style.
Yeah.
You get to play stuff when I say you can play stuff. So this pairing was really, really good for that.
I think this is a super cool deck looking through it already. Your next one on your sorcery list, we've got Farewell. 4 double white. You can choose one or more. You can exile all creatures, all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, graveyards. This is awesome because with your commander out, you can get rid of anything you want to keep, and all you have to do is lose your commander for it. You'll still get all the tokens you want.
Yep.
But you essentially have a safety for all of the things on the board.
This really, like, replaying your commander in this deck has not been a problem so far. So if somebody's got something really oppressive, just throw that down and get rid of everything.
Well, yeah, I think, like I said, the ability to get through all of that, it just, and all graveyards is rough too.
Oh, yeah.
Give me one moment here. There we go. I was dying. All right. Oh, fuck. I'm still not done yet. Sorry, one sec here. I don't know why I'm not feeling great. Okay, hopefully that's done. We'll figure that out. Do you want to take this next one here?
Yeah. So this next one is Torment of Hailfire, X double black. Repeat the following process X times. Each opponent loses 3 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land permanent or discards a card.
A great game ender.
Absolutely.
And just a cool card in general. It's oppressive, yeah.
Yeah, I love this card.
It's from one of the best parts of Magic 2, like that Amonkhet story. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta do John and I have to do the Amonkhet lore at some point. Maybe I'll do that coming up. And we've got to do Dominaria too. I gotta get John. You gotta find some free time with John. We also have Vindicate. It is 1 white, 1 black. You destroy target permanent. Just good removal.
Yeah. Should we jump over to this instance next?
Yeah, keep on theme here.
Yeah. So the first instant is Anguished Unmaking. 1 white, black. Exile target non-land permanent. You lose 3 life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good removal. You've got Dark Ritual just to hard ramp early, I assume. One black with the triple add black, add 3 black. Anguish Unmaking, going back to that one. Yeah, I guess you can also just use it to get rid of your commander. To bring all your stuff back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume you've got lots of ways to sacrifice in this deck, but you can just Anguish Unmaking your own commander and bring everything back.
Yeah, exactly. It's good on offense. It's good on defense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So same thing here. The next one. Go ahead. Yeah. This.
And next one is Ephemerate. It's a single white, exile target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control, and it's got Rebound. I'm still surprised this was a common.
It's a cool card.
Absolutely.
I like Rebound as a mechanic just in general, but especially with your commander generating tokens, there's just like a free bounce everything. Like you play your commander, get everything off the field, play this card, you get it all back to re-trigger ETBs, then do it again next turn. You can keep a lot of stuff safe with your commander.
Yeah, absolutely.
I almost wish this deck could include blue for like Dockside. Not Dockside, what's the one? I'm tired today. It goes with Dockside in every deck.
Hull Breacher.
No, the Blink one.
No, Blink one. Sorry, I was getting too carried away. Hull Breacher's banned.
I'm too tired. It's the pirate thing. If you pay 2 mana, you blink it. It's got Soul Bond.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, life's hard today. I'm tired. I'll find it because it's bugging me. It is my brain's just not working today.
Deadeye Navigator.
Deadeye Navigator, yes. Of course, Deadeye Navigator. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that would be really fun for a deck like this. Also like Mist Meadow Witch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You also have Generous Gifts, I think one of like the best white removal answers. 2 and a white. You destroy target permanent, its controller gets a 3/3 green elephant. That trade I'll take pretty much every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, white doesn't really have great destroy permanents. It's got a lot of good artifact enchantment destruction, but it doesn't really deal with creatures outside of Path to Exile pretty much.
Yeah.
So this is just good versatility. I really like this card a lot. It's just Beast Within in white.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I like this color pairing too, because black does have a lot of get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
So it balances out quite nicely.
The next card on your list is one of my favorite cards they've ever printed. I love this card.
You take it?
No, go ahead, please. But I wanted it to be known that it's one of my favorites, and I love it. It's beautiful artwork, and it's such a good card.
Sure. Next one's Ink Shield, 3 white and black. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to you this turn. For each 1 damage prevented this way, create a 2/1 white and black Inkling creature token with flying.
It's such a problematic card. If somebody has the damage to kill you, the fact they have flying is crazy. But like, yeah, if I swing hard, like I'm like, okay, well, I'll kill you. I'll swing for 40. You get 80 of them, or you get 80 damage worth. You get 40 2/1s. Yeah. So then you have enough to kill both players. It's rough. Prevent damage that you don't see coming at 5 mana. Like generally 5 mana, most people aren't like, oh, well, he's going to hose the table with this. It's such a good prevention. And especially I play against a lot of equipment decks that are double striking me. Like I play a lot of players who like to run the table over. Yeah. Swinging with 60 dragons and Dragon decks and silly stuff like that. So yeah, this card just puts in work. It's such a fun card to play. It's
absolutely.
I loved that whole set. The Shadrick's deck is still one of my favorite. All those Elder Dragons from Strixhaven are just some of my favorite decks I've ever built, and I just you've given me the fond memories of just hosing the table with this card.
Strixhaven was one of those sets that was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really, really hope they go back to Arcavios. That's the plane of Strixhaven. It was such a good one. I think there's room still for the other Elder Dragons to be on the other side of the continent for anyone who's listened to the lore episodes. But yeah, oh man, do I ever love that color pairing, and Shadrick's is just such a fun deck. I have to do my Shadrick's deck at some point, like as an archives deck, because we didn't end up doing mine before, I don't believe. But yeah, no, I could talk all day about how much I like Ink Shield and how fun of a card it is. And it's I also like that it's only to you, right? So it's really easy to deal with the politics of this, right? If you're playing a game and you're holding up like a fog or something and someone else dies and then the next turn you play fog and they find out you had it, people can be a little sour and be like, oh, well, you could have saved me, we could have killed him together, blah, blah, blah. This is only to you. So your only politics concern in this card is you and then who you swing the monstrosity it leaves at you. Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. 2/1 flyers, yeah. 2/1 flyers are crazy. I also really like the next card because it's so off theme, but it's so fun. 1 white mana for a mana tithe. You counter target spell unless its controller plays 1. When we do our threat assessment in games, we base it on like common plays, and this is not commonly played. I would lose my mind because if I see 1 white mana open, I'm thinking that they're holding up a Swords or a Path to Exile or something like that. And I am notorious for loving to play the finale cards. If I was like playing like Finale of Glory, I've sank like 20 mana into it so that I can get my 2 like my Angels and Soldiers, for instance, and you countered it by me not being able to pay the 1, I would lose my mind. You'd be my enemy for the rest of the night, and it would be so funny. It's such a good card.
Yeah, that's honestly exactly why I include this one in pretty much every white deck I make, because people aren't expecting it.
No.
Yeah, if you've got 2 blue mana up, okay, you've probably got a counterspell of some sort.
Well, and
but in white,
that's exactly it. My threat assessment would never take this into account, and I love to play huge spells all the time. I sit and dirtle, I do stupid stuff all the time. But even for like small things, like if I'm like just ramping up hard and I see you only have 1 white mana, I'm trying to drop a doubling season, and you counter it with a mana tie that 1 mana, oh, I'll lose my mind. Oh, it's such a good card. It's a very fun inclusion, and it's not a card you really see often. Like, it's not an expensive card. People should run it.
No, it did just get a reprint last. Yeah, that was last year, I think.
Yeah.
Time Spiral Remastered, yeah.
Oh, it's such a silly card. It's so funny.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Orim's Chant. It's also a single white. It's got a kicker cost of another white. Target player can't play spells this turn, and if you paid the kicker cost, creatures can't attack this turn.
Also a great card, and something you, again, don't see at 1 mana. You're not really usually expecting to be silenced, right? You've got a silence, you've got a can't attack. You're not expecting that in white decks. Like, it's not the common direction of them.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Yeah, like for 2 mana, having the problem player not be able to play anything and can't attack.
Well, the fun thing about this too is, right, if you think that, let's say I'm the counterspell player at the table. If you think I'm going to counter this, right, or you think I'm holding up a counter, you're going to find out, because either I can't play it so I can't counter your things later on, or I have to blow the counter on this to maybe try be able to do other stuff later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is, at the least, you're going to blow my counter spell. At the worst, you're going to render whoever's, like, your blue player just immobilized for the game. Yeah, exactly. I like that one. Yeah, see, Path to Exile you've got on your list next. This is what I like threat assessment based around. I see 1 white mana. I assume a path's coming. We've got 1 white mana, exile target creature. Its controller may search the library for a basic land, put it onto the battlefield, tapped, then shuffle. That's like a normal threat in white. Yeah.
Then we've got Silence. 1 white. Your opponents can't cast spells this turn.
That's a rough one.
Yeah, this is one that's here. If you get this to resolve, you're probably winning the game this turn with this deck.
Yeah, because you've got, like you said, even early on, right, with your animate deadline, that ends the game.
And there's even more lines that we haven't got to yet.
Yeah, well, we're just in instants and sorceries, right? Already a very oppressive deck with like a strong, really, really strong instant section. Like specifically, like your sorceries are pretty generic, destroy, end the game if you've got lots of mana, right? But again, that Torment of Hailfire, right? If I'm silenced and I can't respond to you dumping 20 mana into it, that's a problem. That's a real problem, yeah. You also have Swords to Plowshare, again, something that I would threat assess based on. You exile target creature, they gain its controller gains life equal to its power. Another just solid 1 mana, like instant response card.
Yeah.
You play with a lot more instants in decks generally than I do, unless I'm playing like blue or a Spellslinger deck. Like, so many times I build a deck, I'm like, more creatures. It must have more of my theme.
It must have at least 40 creatures.
Yeah, 45 creatures, and then cards to ramp those creatures out. It's you do have a lot more single target removal in your playstyle than me.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Vampiric Tutor. Black, search library for a card, shuffle your library, put that card on top of it, you lose 2 life.
Yeah, just any deck that can afford to throw it in is always a good card. Vamp Tutor's great.
Yeah.
This is another interesting one you don't really see very much. Vanishing Verse.
This one's one of my favorites from this set.
You should take this one. This is another great card.
Vanishing Verse, it's white and a black. Exile target monocolored permanent. This can get rid of a lot of stuff. If somebody's like blinking a dockside, get rid of it. Stop their mana production, get rid of a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, or that Deadeye Navigator, the card that I would never forget the name of.
Yeah. Or Deadeye Navigator.
Yeah, that's there's a lot of strong monocolored cards. Again, even a lot of these decks will run something like a lot of like decks in general right now will run like your Smothering Tides or your like stack the table like a Ristic Study kind of thing. Yeah, that's a really good card to
or even this deck has a lot of non-basic lands, and this can get rid of somebody's Blood Moon. Yeah,
and Blood Moon can really hose the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
Blood Moon's rough.
Speaking of lands, there's a couple I wouldn't mind mentioning. So we've got like Bajuka Bog, exiles target player's graveyard, Field of Ruin, destroy target non-basic land, Ghost Quarter, destroy target land, controller search the library for basic land card. Hall of Heliod's Generosity is a big one in this deck.
Yeah.
strip mine, and wasteland.
Yeah, so you built a lot of destroy lands. You're not enjoying seeing guys' cradles on the table lately, hey?
No, not at all.
That's fair.
Oh, and Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, but
also a good card, yeah.
Yeah, it's one thing that I refused to do, even though I'm destroying lands a lot in this deck. I'm not putting Crucible Worlds in this one.
That's fair.
That just makes it not fun.
Yeah, I love Crucible Worlds. It's such a good card.
Yeah, that's exactly why I didn't put it in this deck.
Such a good card. Do you want to jump over to your artifacts here? I'm looking at some of those and they look great.
Absolutely. Do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so you've got Aetherflux Reservoir. It's 4 mana for whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. You can pay 50 life and deal 50 damage to target creature or player. Aetherflux has just always been a great game ender and a great chance to gain life because the ability keeps going up, right? So every time you play it, you gain 1 life, then 2 life, then 3 life, then 4 life. But something that not a lot of players know is that Aetherflux puts that on the stack as a trigger to be resolved. So you can respond to the trigger of your life gain. So let's say you've got your 5 instants. We're going to Dark Ritual, we're going to Path to Exile, we're going to Silence, Swords to Plowshare, and Vamp Tutor. You don't have to let the Aetherflux triggers resolve each time in between. You can respond to the trigger so that when it responds, each of those triggers will gain you 5 life. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that interaction with it and stuff, right? Because it's whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Most people read that as I'll gain 1 life, then 2 life, then 3, right? So you'd gain 1, my math of it is 1 + 2 is 3, + 3 is 6, + 4 is 10, + 5 is 15, versus 25 life in the same number if you can respond to them, right? So Aetherflux can actually get really, really out of control in Spellslinger decks if you've got a lot of instants. Because again, they resolve they're still an ability, they still go on the stack, they still resolve, right? So if you can somehow, if you've got 10 instants you can play, you'll be able to resolve 10 gain 10 life triggers and then blow the board up with Aetherflux Reservoir.
I know that.
Yeah. Fun little stack things. I love Aetherflux Reservoir for that reason, but like I said, it's generally not used that way. I assume it's not used that way in this deck, but
no, but it might be now.
But it's just good game knowledge to have that is an ability, and you can respond to that ability before its resolution. Because it's just when that ability resolves, whenever you've cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. If that ability hasn't resolved, you're still casting spells. When that ability resolves, you got 5 spells that you've cast, you gain 5 life. Fun competitive hacks with Daniel.
Interesting.
Yeah. Please carry on though.
Yes. Next up, we've got Altar of Dementia. 2 mana, sacrifice a creature. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power on top of their library, or from the top of their library into their graveyard. So, sacrifice a creature, target player mills equal to its power.
Gigantically problematic in this deck.
Yep.
Because you're even if they're 1 mana creatures, you have a drain every time something dies on deck. But you also have just a way to non-stop make soldiers. You can make so many soldiers in this deck, or warriors, or whatever 1/1 creatures they are. That's a problem. Being able to just protect all your stuff with every blink and be I have 13 soldiers, Daniel, mill 13, is gross.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Altar's a problematic card in any token-based deck, but this is a deck that can protect Altar and make you new tokens during the protection. It's a lot.
Yeah, this card puts in the work in this deck.
Yeah, well, you also, again, speaking of another great sacrifice outlet, you've got Ashnod's Altar. 3 mana, sack a creature, add 2 to your mana pool, and you have 2 huge game-ending cards in your sorcery section, right?
Yeah.
That you're going to be able to be okay, well, I'm going to put 30 into Exsanguinate or 30 into Torment of Hailfire. A 30 mana Torment of Hailfire is hard to come back from. If you possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, again, this is the first time I'm seeing this deck personally. I assume that you're going to have just a nuts amount of soldiers in this deck. I assume there's so much chance to blink him to play stuff like this. I really, really see something like this generating a nuts amount of tokens.
Yeah, I think anything where you've got a 2-mana combo or 2-card combo, one of the cards being in the command zone. It's really hard to work around. Like you saw, like this deck is stupid.
Well, yeah, literally all you have to do is have your commander die and then animate dead it.
Yeah.
That's not a hard condition to fulfill in any deck.
No, not at all.
And you already have a little bit of tutor for it. You also have, like you said, your Hall of Heliod's generosity to, if somebody, for some reason, I'll counterspell it. Okay, I will do it again next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you got a ton of mana generation with this, but like I could also see this deck just swinging out and killing people with tokens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very real possibility.
Yeah, like it's got a lot of tokens. And the other thing, too, is the thing I hadn't even thought about until now. Not only are you making blockers, which is always great because you can protect yourself so well, but swinging it out at me is basically just killing you every time. I'll throw my 1/1s away nonstop and drain each opponent for 1 life every time I'm attacked. Like, then not only like I'm being annoying, sure, but whoever's trying to kill me is kind of annoying the table too because they're draining. You swing a 5/5 at me. I throw 5 soldiers in front of it just because I want to drain everyone for 5 mana. Everyone's lost 15 life collectively. That's going to annoy the table a lot, right? It's going to really deter people from wanting to swing at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've pretty much never had anyone interact with my backgrounds. People don't run enough enchantment removal already.
No,
and there's kind of always the threat that like I'm just going to play it again. So people aren't really like interacting with these backgrounds as much as they should be, I don't think.
Yeah, definitely. Like especially with how powerful some of them are. I definitely think that we need more people playing things like Vanishing Verse or like Vindicate, just because those are the ones I'm looking at right now. But enchantment removal is important right now.
Well, yeah, like unless you have like a Pillow Fort player in your play group, you probably aren't really packing that much. And are you really gonna like build? Are you really gonna start throwing enchantment removal en masse into decks because one guy plays an annoying Feldegriff deck? Probably not.
Not really, no.
Yeah, right. So it's I don't know. I think that it can be a real problematic pairing, and I think that it's really funny how much you can hold the table hostage by just saying, because this, I would think that this is a strong pairing with only one, like a target player loses life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun, but now it's just even more fun to be like, I'm not even trying to kill you guys. He's swinging at me. Like, stop him. Yeah, stop him from swinging at me, and you guys will stop dying. Don't worry.
Yeah, stop attacking me and I'll stop doing damage to you. It's simple as that.
Stop hitting yourselves. Stop hitting yourselves. Yeah, I think that that's like a really, really solid card for that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to jump back in here?
Yeah. This next one is Bolas' Citadel. 3 triple black for legendary artifact. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may play the top card of your library. If you cast a spell this way, pay life equal to its CMC rather than pay its mana cost. And you can tap it for sacrifice 10 non-land permanents. Each opponent loses 10 life.
Mm-hmm.
I like this card.
Yeah. Well, not only is it a great card, no one pretty much ever uses the bottom ability, but not only can you use the bottom ability, you can refresh the bottom ability with your commander re-entering.
Mm-hmm.
So you can always do it. But the other thing is, with Aetherflux, this eventually just gets to a point where you're gaining life over top of casting.
Yep. And there is a card that helps with that.
Fair.
Just in case you hit like a land or something.
Yeah. Well, I guess you can alter Dementia yourself as well. Sack a creature, get rid of your land. I'll mill myself 1. I'll respond again, mill myself 1. Those 2 lands are gone. Because once you hit, once you've hit your 5 mana or your 5 separate spells, you might be down 30 or 40 life if someone's silenced. But you might also just be able to play your whole deck out with your Aetherflux triggers of gaining life, because you'll eventually be up to like gaining every time you spend like if I cast the Altar of Dementia or Ashnod's Altar, for 3 and I gain 20 life off of it, it's really hard to come back from. I could see this deck making really, really long plays because there's a lot of complicated lines you can do.
Yeah.
I have a really bad habit of putting the Jeopardy theme song on when people are taking a long time. I think that's really funny to do, but
this is why if somebody just presents a loop, you just got to let him go for it.
Yeah, sometimes
go get a drink or something.
Yeah, use it as a time to quickly go finish a deck. No, yeah, it's I think that this has got a lot of cool lines, but I really, really like Bolas' Citadel, and I always love it in like conjunction with Aetherflux Reservoir because I really like to see people try to hit that critical mass of spells for the turn where they're like, all right, I'm going off. I'm going silly.
Yeah.
I really like seeing big plays. Big plays, even if they're annoying big plays, I still like to see people's like creativity come through. That's probably why I enjoy like doing this show so much, and like also why I enjoy seeing your playstyle, because it's so different than what I do, right? Like this is not the kind of deck that I would have run Bolas of Citadel in. Like you'd see it in a Kraven Regna deck for me, you know, or like Asterion. That's another that's actually probably what we'll do next week is Asterion, because I think that card's so annoying. But I got a Bolas Citadel in that deck, right, where I'm constantly gaining life. Generally speaking, like you're really like throwing everything you've got at problems in your play style. Like it's a lot more like mine. You've got I play some rough stuff, but you're stacked with like destroy like annoying land cards, right? I've got so many decks that like have to have like certain like cool lands to function, and you're just like, no, get it out of here. You've got your Bolas of Citadel. You'll throw your life points away to cast the annoying stuff that, not annoying, but to cast the good things or to get to your pieces to stop me going silly. Like, I really, really like this deck.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, very cool.
Actually, before we move on, can I jump down to one more card that goes with Aetherflux and Bolas of Citadel?
Sure.
Cool. So we've also got Sensei's Divining Top in this deck. 1 mana. You can pay 1 to look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. Or you can tap the top, draw a card, and put the top on top of its owner's library.
Yeah, so you've got your infinite life gain.
This helps if you want to, infinite life gain, laser everybody with Aetherflux. Or if you've got some lands on top, you don't want them, shuffle them around a bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not having 3 lands in a row in this deck. There's only 31 lands.
Well, then at this point you can still, with the Sensei's loop there, you can just draw a card, put it on top, pay 1 if you have your Aetherflux. Like, again, we're assuming this situation. We've got Aetherflux. We've got Bolas of Citadel out. You just tap, draw a card. It goes back on top. You pay 1 life. You gain 1 life. You play the card. You draw a card. Like, you can just constantly, like, if you can generate the 1 mana, and I believe this deck does have like a lot. Oh, you don't even have to generate the mana. You just generate the life. Yeah, so you can just draw your whole deck at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can draw your whole deck and play anything from the top for free, because you'll have all of the life gain you possibly need. Yeah, so after playing 5 or 6 of these, like, you're going to be gaining 6 life everything you play. I don't think you have too many things over 6 mana in the deck, if anything.
I think I've got 2.
Yeah, so
2 things.
So you've got like a pretty cool little combo. I like Sensei's as a combo. I think it's neat. I think it ends the game, because that's the thing, right? So a lot of people do like to complain, oh yeah, it's a combo. If you have an 11 mana combo out, like, the game's got to end at some point. You know, if one of your combo pieces is 3 triple black, and then another 4 mana artifact, and then a Sensei's Divining Top, and still no one has an answer, then, like, come on.
Yeah.
The game's got to end. And especially if you've silenced the table, now you're up to 12 mana for the turn. The game's gotta end. At some point, you have to do something to end the game. Call me heartless in Magic, but at 11 or 12 mana, the game's gotta end.
Yeah, that's kind of like what I say with Godo as well, because like the Godo Helm combo, that's 11 mana.
Yeah.
If you notice the person getting to 11 mana, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, if someone's playing...
At that point, you should have an answer.
Yeah, if someone's like, I will cast Godo, it's like, okay, for sure. Then the next turn, they're like, I will cast Helm of the Host. It's like, hold up just a minute, yeah. No, yeah, game's got to end.
Yeah. That's one thing that I do with the more oppressive decks. I try to make sure there's lots of ways it can win, just because nobody wants to be sitting there for 3 hours.
Yeah, while your stack's on the table. The other thing too is like, I would consider this like a fairly like mid or like higher power mid deck. Yeah. Like this isn't going to be a CDH deck, obviously.
No, not at all.
But you've got cool combos, you've got cool things, right? Like how you play this. Like if I was like playing just like a pre-con deck into this, right? You could choose really easily to not infinite combo, and it would still be a fun playable deck from what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
But like I like that this has the ability to it, and I would much rather somebody just like, you know, turn 8 in the game is like, okay, like I've got an infinite loop. I would much rather that than someone just like for less mana being like, I Cyclonic Rift, pick everything up because you attacked me. Meh, meh. I hate Cyclonic Rift. It's so annoying.
That's kind of why the original draft of this deck had Armageddon in it.
Yeah, also hilarious.
Yes.
I generally, if somebody can ramp to a combo like this, by the way, like if you have like players who are like doing like infinite I win really fast, I really like to just be like, hey, like great job, we're gonna finish the game, right? Like so it really all is like about how the play group is, because if you've agreed to a high power game, someone high or mid power game, someone infinite combos the table, that's fine. But if we're all like playing like casual stuff and you're like, I'll just draw my deck, play everything, I win, I'll be like, oh, cool, we're going to finish, so you just shuffle up, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Good job, you won.
Yeah.
You beat some precons. Good job.
Yeah, you won. Why don't you go grab us some drinks? We're gonna bang it out with these dragons. Yeah. That's just an option, by the way. I really think that people should get more comfortable with like just like telling people like, congrats, you win, but like we're still going to finish the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just my personal
like even that's why I think like rule 0 talk is important, because if you go out and say, yeah, this deck has numerous infinite combos that it's trying to be getting to very quickly, people are more likely to bring up more powerful decks that can compete with that.
Yeah.
And stop that, as opposed to having to, infinite combo, everybody else attack yourself with dragons.
Another thing is as well, like sometimes I've had people say, I've had decks where I say like I can combo off and win, and they say, can your deck function without those? And I say, yeah, of course, like I've got like other ways to do it. And they're like, okay, well, can you not go infinite until turn blah blah blah, or like can you not like until turn, and I actually really like I've got a few play groups who don't quite have the same budget as me, right? But they like to play against my strong decks because they like to try kind of beat me and stuff, right? So sometimes we'll like put like little kind of restrictions on how I can play. Like it'll be, I can't tutor for anything for the first 5 games. I can't land tutor. I can't do no tutors for anything for 5 turns. Or it'll be like, I can't cast my commander until turn 6 or something like that, right? And it's really fun to play with like weird restrictions like that too. Like if you are like the stronger player in a group, sometimes it is fun to just like play these like, okay, well, like you've got 8 turns until I do this. Yeah, I like it. I like playing Magic just in general. I really like playing with the arch enemy cards.
Yeah.
Those are super fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm often the arch enemy anyways. Back into our list though, we've got Commander Sphere, a 3 mana, tap to add 1 mana of any color, and you sack it to draw a card. Like I've said repeatedly, I'm really enjoying putting this card into decks right now.
Yeah, I quite like this one.
I like it a lot.
Next up, we've got Conjurer's Closet, 5 mana. At the beginning of your end step, you may exile target creature card you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control.
Yeah, that's just a very good card for any deck with a blink commander.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a fun card. I don't play this one ever. This is kind of cool. Your next one, so first off, I love Conjurers. Great blink. The next one, though, Conqueror's Flail. It's 2 mana. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each color among permanents you control, so in your deck, it's going to be like 2. But as long as it's equipped to a creature, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. And then it has equipped for 2. Another pretty interesting way to silence the table.
Yeah, the less your opponents can play spells in your turn, the more likely you are to get your stuff out, right? So.
Well, yeah, it's sometimes it's annoying to have like a counterspell player sit there and try wreck the fun you've built for the table.
Exactly. Next up, we've got Crawl Space, 3 mana. No more than 2 creatures can attack you each combat.
Yeah. The Crawl Space is a great card. Another stacksy one. You've got pretty solid reduction here with Jet Medallion. 2 mana. Your black spells are 1 less to play. That's always good in a lot of decks like this because black's not great at ramping.
Then we've got Orzhov Signet, 2 mana. You can pay 1 and tap it to add a white and a black.
Yeah.
Simple stuff.
These medallions have just skyrocketed in price again. You can't reprint them enough.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got 2 mana for Pearl Medallion as well, the same thing. But for white spells are 1 less to cast. Another just great reduction card. And it's kind of a bummer that these just keep going up in price no matter how many times they print them. Like,
yeah, they need reprints. They need to be like Soul Ring, printed in every precon they can be in.
Yeah, well, the double master stuff really could have had a lot more great. Like, they could have put a lot more in the 30, like in the cheaper range, and not stuffed it all into lottery slots. Like, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I really feel like they should have done the Ikoria free spell cycle.
Yeah, that exactly. That would have been another like great inclusion. It's just I've been super happy with what Wizards has been doing with products lately. They've just been moving more and more to like a lottery system of like everything here is all right, but like you might get one thing that's okay, like really good.
Yeah.
I find it's a disappointing pack opening thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm really unhappy with the Dominaria stuff that they're redoing. I'm going to do probably a whole like bonus episode on that one. I'm not stoked on that one. I'll save that rant for another day, but we already went over Sensei, so you've also got Skull Clamp, and you have a 1/1 generator in the command zone. So this is just gasoline for drawing cards.
Yep.
Yeah, you've got 1 mana, cast it. Equip creature gets +1/-1. When equip creature dies, you draw 2 cards, and it equips for 1. So in this deck, a lot of times it's going to be pay 1 mana, draw 2 cards.
Yep, nice and simple stuff. Then we've got Soul Ring, 1 mana, tap it, add 2. We all know it. We all love it.
Yeah, it's a good card. You also have Talisman of Hierarchy, and I like all the Talisman cards a lot. 2 mana, tap to add 1 colorless or 1 of each of your colors, and it deals 1 damage to you. That's just a great card in general.
Yeah. And final artifact is Wishclaw Talisman. 1 in a black. It enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. You can pay 1 and tap it to remove a wish counter from it. Search your library for a card, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then an opponent gains control of Wishclaw Talisman.
Activate only during your turn. Yep. What I like about this a lot is you could really, really politics very nicely with the table with this. I will give it to you if you give it back to me. And then you can blink it and reset your wish counters.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So you've got a recurable tutor on the field. I really like Wishclaw as an inclusion in this.
Yeah, Wishclaw is a great card.
Yeah. Do you want to hit your creature section next or your enchantments?
Let's do creatures.
All right. There we go. We've got, starting off with just solid stacks, Archon of Emeria. 2 and a white for a 2/3 Archon. It's a flyer. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn, and non-basics your opponent's control enter tapped. Your dual lands or guild gates.
Yep.
Yeah. Keeping it fair for everyone. Yep.
Absolutely. Then we've got Aven Mind Sensor, 2 and a white, flash flying, 2/1 bird wizard. If an opponent must search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead.
I hate that card so much. I search for so much land when I'm playing. I hate this card so much. Yeah. You also have your Blood Artist, which is just great in any deck similar to this. Like, you've got that effect from the command zone, so of course you're running it in a creature. 1 and a black for a 0/1 vampire. Whenever it or another creature dies, target player loses a life and you gain a life.
Then we've got another quite fun card, Drenith Magistrate. 1 and a white for a 1/3 human wizard. Your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands.
You're a bad person with this list. You're a bad person. You got a real Staxy creature section 4 in, and first off, I hate Dranith so much. If they were banning a creature, it should have been Dranith and not Hullbreacher.
I definitely agree with that.
Oh.
But you know how it is.
Yeah, Dranith. Hey, if Dranith legal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of just rough cards, this is a rough creature section. I didn't look at anything in it. Oh, wow. You got Elish Norn, Grand Cenobite, 5 white for a 4/7 Praetor with Vigilance. Other creatures you control get 2/2. Creatures your opponents control get -2/-2. You've got so many 1/1s in this that are just problematic, kill the table. You can wipe so much off the battlefield, and you have the ability to just possibly cast this for life. This is gross.
Yep. If you don't want to play through the Skull Clamp and get a whole bunch of cards, just kill your opponents with 3/3s that you can make an infinite number of.
Yeah, that's rough. That's pretty rough for sure.
Next up, we've got Grand Abolisher, double white for a 2/2 human cleric. During your turn, your opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments.
Yep. Again, solid stacks.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen this card. I don't know what it is. Lumbering Battlement is 4 and a white for a 4/5 beast with Vigilance. When it enters, exile any number of other non-token creatures you control until it leaves. It gets 2/2 for each card exiled with it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So another way for your... Oh, actually, like, could be even... It gets 2/2 for each card exiled with it. And you could exile... You could possibly just kill the table here. If you have like 30 soldiers, you exile 30. I wonder if that
it is non-token
It
creatures.
is non-token? Okay.
But there's
Whew.
some shenanigans with this card.
That's problematic. Well, the fact that it does kind of what your commander does already alone. And I'm just thinking back already, like the simplest line of your, what is the Altar of Dementia? Where you can just like, I will throw away this 20/20 and you lose 20 cards.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
This is a gross section. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Wizards. This is my revenge for them banning Hullbreacher.
Apparently.
Next up, we've got Opposition Agent, 2 and a black for a 3/2 human rogue with flash. You control your opponents while they're searching their libraries. While an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast them.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Like you said, you like tutoring for lands.
Yeah.
I don't think that's not going to happen.
I do like to tutor for lands. That's a real problem card. I hate when people do this. Generally speaking, I don't really believe in picking up in games.
Yeah.
But I get angry enough to sometimes leave the game if people do this in response to like a cultivate. I'll be like, oh, cool, you beat me. I'm going to go sit out. I'll throw a little tantrum.
See, I don't think I'd be mean enough to flash it in on a cultivate.
That's what my playgroup does. They're animals.
I'd wait for like a vampire tutor or something at least.
Nope, they do it on my lands. I'll like go to crack a fetch land and they'll just be like, perfect, op agent. Just wreck the game for me. They're monsters, all of them. All of them are bad people. We've got Pond of Ulamog as well, speaking of bad people. 1 double black for a 2/2 vampire shaman. Whenever it or another non-token creature you control dies, you get a 0/1 Eldrazi that has sack it, add 2 to your mana pool. Or add 1 to your mana pool, sorry. Whew. Let's not get too crazy. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Then we've got Restoration Angel, 3 and a white for a 3/4 angel with flash and flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-angel creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under your control.
Mm-hmm. Really good, like to just power flicker your commander with this.
Yeah.
You got a pretty rough list here. Pretty rough list. You've got Sarah Ascendant, possibly the best turn 1 white card in Magic. For commander. Let's keep that in mind. 1 white, it's a 1/1 human monk with lifelink. And as long as you have 30 or more life, it has 5/5 and flying.
Yeah, so a 6/6 flying lifelink on turn 1. I don't think that's too bad.
It's a problem. I hate seeing Sarah Ascendant hit the board so early.
Fair balance.
It's rough, yeah. That's a rough card. Should have worded that one differently.
Then we've got Shieldred Whispering One. 5 double black for a 6/6 legendary Praetor with Swamp Walk. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature.
Mm-hmm. I always forget that it has Swamp Walk. I never really swing with Shouldred. You have an Urborg in here, so Shouldred's basically unblockable. Like,
yeah,
I just never remember that it has that.
Yeah, I very rarely attack with her as well. It's mostly for the effect.
Yeah, I have seen that you have a combo with this next one. It's
maybe.
Yeah, maybe I do, maybe I don't. We've got Teysa Orzhov Scion, 1/1 white, 1 black for a 2/3 human advisor. It has sacrificed 3 creatures or remove target creature from the game, and then whenever another black creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, you put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying into play. And this combos beautifully with another card in the enchantment section. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah.
We'll go back to it, but it's first off, I just love this card as well. It's a very fun commander. It's a very like police the table intensive commander.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but a very cool card. And you have like a white token generator in the command zone again, right? So a 3 creature exile is nothing in this deck. At its worst, without the combo. Sans combo, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You have a gross list.
Yeah. Next up, we got Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. 1 and a white for a 2/1 legendary human soldier with first strike. Non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast.
Yep.
With the mana generators in this, you're not going to have problems with that.
Pretty rough, yep. Then you have Thalia Herida Cathar, 2 and a white for a 3/2 human soldier. First strike, creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter tapped. Also rough.
Yeah. Then we've got Tithe Taker. 1 and a white for a 2/1 human soldier. During your turn, spells your opponents cast cost 1 more to cast, and abilities your opponents activate cost 1 more to activate unless they're mana abilities. and it's got Afterlife 1.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Makes you a white and black creature on its death for Afterlife. When it dies, create a 1/1 white and black spirit with flying. Pretty good death ability.
Yeah.
You also have Timna the Weaver, which you rarely see outside of like a competitive deck. You don't see her in many decks. 1 white, 1 black for a human cleric lifelink. 2/2. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, you can pay X life, where X is the number of opponents that were dealt combat damage this turn. If you do, you draw X cards, and it has partner, but we're not quite looking at the partner in this one. Although technically, this could just be your commander.
Yeah.
Interchangeably.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be as good, but...
I think 3 life to draw 3 cards, because you've got a whole lot of tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad trade-off.
Yeah, right. I like it.
Yeah. Then we've got Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, 2 and a black for a 1/3 legendary vampire cleric. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life, and it's got 3 double black creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn.
Really good card for this deck.
Yeah.
Veto was an awesome card printed in general, but
Absolutely.
really good card for this deck with what I was talking about earlier, where you just throw your creatures in front of something, like, because it doesn't have to block it a 1/1, right? If I attack with a 8/8 and you block with 8 creatures, you're draining 8 life per player. But then you also, if you give those creatures lifelink, like, you're able to drain another person 16 life for someone swinging at you is harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also really cool flavor text. It's Veto's pretty nuts. I really can't wait to play. I got the new Elenda, the artwork. A lot of people didn't like that artwork. I really loved that artwork. I thought it was beautiful. And that's I really want to play that deck. I haven't played it since I've got my new artwork. I haven't played as much as I want to, sadly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, this next one is also like one of my favorite cards printed in Strixhaven. I think it was super cool.
Mm-hmm.
You've got your Wandering Archaic at 5 mana, a 4/4 avatar. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you copy that spell, and you can choose new targets for the copy. This is just such a cool card. It does have a backside to it. I'll read the backside in a second, but I just wanted to talk about how much I love this card first. I think it's super fun. I don't really have a disdain for like the Rhystic Study or Smothering Tides. Like, you can have your treasure, you can have your draw, I don't care. I just like this. I think this is a cool one that really forces people to decide, like, how badly do I want to cast this spell, right? Is it worth doing what I'm doing? It's, again, taxing mana from them, which is also rough in a lot of times. And then you've got the backside of it. The flip is a sorcery, and it's Explore the Vastlands. For 3 mana, each player looks at the top 5 cards of their library, reveals a land and or instant or sorcery from among them, puts the cards revealed into their hand and the rest on the bottom. Each player gains 3 life. I like every part of this card. I like the front of it with the Wandering Archaic. It's great, but the back of it as well. In a pinch, the fact that you can like search for a land and sorcery as well, and it's colorless, so you can put this into anything.
Mm-hmm.
Land and sorcery for every player. Each player gains 3 life is just a great group hug card. And I think that I couldn't find enough of these, which is why I don't put it in my group hug decks more and more. But you've just cost me a bunch of money because I'm going to go buy a bunch of them. Yeah, I've got them in limited decks, and they're very, very cool cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the final creature that we've got is Zulaport Cutthroat, 1 and a black for a 1/1 human rogue ally. Whenever Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's it's just your secondary commander on steroids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we finally have your enchantment section.
Yep.
You want to start off with the first one? You mentioned it earlier in the episode.
Sure. So the first one is Animate Dead, 1 and a black for an enchantment aura. Enchant creature card in a graveyard. When Animate Dead enters the battlefield, if it's on the battlefield, it loses enchant creature card in a graveyard and gains enchant creature put onto the battlefield with Animate Dead. Return enchanted creature card to the battlefield under your control and attach Animate Dead to it. When Animate Dead leaves the battlefield, that creature's controller sacrifices it, and enchanted creature gets -1/-0.
Yep, pretty good card.
Yeah. So yeah, this goes infinite with the commander. As long as you can get Abdel into the graveyard, which isn't that hard in this deck. If you just target it, bring it back. When Abdel enters, exile the Animate Dead, which would make Abdel go back into the graveyard, bringing back the Animate Dead, which will trigger and get Abdel, and that's infinite 1/1s.
Yep. Animate Dead loops are neat.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like, I was working on Anya Falconwrath for a little while with World Gorger Dragon, and now they've got a white World Gorger Dragon.
Yeah. You could probably do a pretty cool loop with like the Felidar. It's not Felidar Sovereign, it's the Blink one that pairs with Amanatu.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it's regardless. Anything that'll blink your commander could be a fun use of this one. You've also got Aura of Silence, which is great to leave on the field. 1 double white. Artifacts and enchantments are 2 more to cast, which is rough. Your opponents as well, not you. And then you can sack it and destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's great on-board removal for problems and stacks the table. It's a card that annoys me greatly, but it's a great card.
Yeah. Then we've got another awesome 1 white mana spell. Authority of the Councils. Creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped, and whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you gain 1 life.
Yeah, that's a great early play, especially if you can turn this into creature decks. This is rough.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of life coming. It's I really, really like that card. You also have Bastion of Remembrance, and I really thought this was a cool card from Ikoria. 2 and a black for an enchantment. When it enters, you create a 1/1 white human soldier token. Awesome. And then whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses a life, you gain a life. Another commander, like another thing similar to your commander option. And even just having those 2 out, like the fact that like they'll lose 2 life, you'll gain a life on every death is gonna really end the game pretty quickly, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got Blind Obedience, 1 and a white. It's got Extort, and artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped.
Yep, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Extort as well, by the way, is a rules reminder. It's not color, so you can put this in mono whites or mono. Like it only counts as a mono white card. The rules reminder text is not a color.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's whenever you cast a spell, you can pay it. You do, they lose life. It's a really cool card. I've died to Extort many times.
Oh yeah.
You want to take this next one?
Sure. So this next one is Dance of the Dead. 1 and a black, enchant dead creature. Take target creature from any graveyard and put it directly into play under your control, tapped with +1/+1. Treat the creature as though it was just summoned. The creature does not untap during its controller's untap phase. At the end of his or her upkeep, its controller may pay an additional 1 and a black to untap it. If Dance of the Dead is removed, bury the creature in its owner's graveyard.
So another way to do your loop. It doesn't matter if your commander's coming in tapped or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this next one is the one that's the Teysa combo master.
Mm-hmm.
It's Darkest Hour. It's 1 black mana. All creatures are black.
Yep.
Pretty rough. What that does with Teysa is it turns all creatures black, right? So Teysa is sacrifice 3 white creatures, but your creatures are, I'm pretty sure it's black in addition, is it not?
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah. Let me just double check that one. Let me double check that errata because I'm pretty sure that is how that combo works. I know all creatures are black. Oh no, they are just black. They're just mono black.
Or just black. Well,
yeah. Affected creatures lose all other color and are mono black. But with Teysa, again, back to what I was saying, is whenever another black creature you control is put into a graveyard from play, you get a 1/1 white spirit token with flying.
Mm-hmm.
So you just constantly, like every time something dies, you replenish it. So any sack outlet, it just like becomes an infinite with Teysa now.
Yep. So you can have it with Ashnod's Altar, infinite mana, Altar of Dementia, infinite mill.
Yeah, tables milled entirely. Yeah. Any death trigger works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I for some reason thought that they were in addition.
I thought so too, but it doesn't really matter in this deck.
Yeah. You also have Exquisite Blood, which is a really fun card. 4 and a black for an enchantment. Whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. And when you're draining, every time a creature dies, a life per player, every creature dying gaining you 3 life, does also make Aetherflux much more like potent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it makes Aetherflux much more of a legitimate threat.
Yep. You've also got Ghostly Prison to make it so people can't attack you. Creatures can't attack unless they pay 2 for each creature they control that's attacking. I really like this. This is the kind of stacks I like.
Yeah.
It's frustrating stacks, but it's fun stacks.
Yeah. The next up, we've got Necromancy, 2 and a black. If you may choose to play Necromancy as an instant. If you do, bury it at the end of the turn. When you play Necromancy, choose target creature card in any graveyard. When Necromancy comes into play, put that creature into play as though it were just played, and Necromancy becomes a creature enchantment that targets the creature. If Necromancy leaves play, bury the creature. Another animate that effect.
Yep. Well, exactly, because then you can just get rid of it.
Yeah. And what I like about this one is it's in any graveyard.
Yep. So you can take other people's stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You have Oblivion Ring, which is essentially your commander single target. 2 and a white. When it enters, exile another target non-land permanent. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield under its owner's control.
Yeah. Then we've got Phyrexian Arena. 1 double black. At the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose 1 life.
Yeah, I like that card. And you've got a lot of life gain in this.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically you're just drawing another card.
Yep. You have Rule of Law as well. 2 and a white. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Again, just frustrating.
Yeah.
I like it.
And we've got Sanguine Bond. 3 double black. Whenever you gain life, each opponent or target opponent loses that much life.
Yeah, a really fun way to kill people.
Yeah.
A really annoying way to kill people. This is that Asterion deck I was talking about. This is a major problem in that deck.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And then you're rocking the Smothering Ties, which is, again, just solid. In any white deck that can, there's not really a downside to running Smothering Tides other than its price tag.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's 3 and a white. Whenever an opponent draws a card, that player can pay 2. If that player doesn't, you get a treasure token. I never pay it. You can have your treasure tokens. I don't care. I want to draw my cards.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. Simple man, simple card draw life.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I really like this list looking through it. You play so differently than I do. So it's really cool to see like your play style there. You've got like a really, really low curve. You got like 2.7 CMC. It's I was looking through it and I was wondering, I was like, this is like a pretty high budget for what it is. But it's because a lot of the stuff you have is foil versions of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in your list, like your foil Teysa alone is like $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the non-foil version of this, and if you got rid of like a few cards like a Vamp Tutor and stuff, you don't quite need a Vamp Tutor. You could budget this down a little bit. But I just think this is like a really, really cool deck. Like the list will be in the show notes like it always is. And yeah, this is just I think a fun Staxy deck. Like you went a very different route than I would have. You've got multiple. I love alternate win cons.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the ability to mill. You've got infinite tokens and stuff. You've got like infinite life drain. You've got the ability to just swing out with tokens, right? I really, really like this.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's a very, very cool deck that you've built.
Yeah, I don't know really what happened. I'm usually quite a budget player. But yeah, like you were saying, you can cut out like your where is it? Your Sarah Ascendant, your strip mine's $15.
Well, you've got a foil Hall of Heliod's Generosity is another 15. Like you've got like a fair bit if you don't run the medallions.
Yeah,
that's like another $60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely get rid of that Draneth Magistrate. Oof, hate that card. Hate it so much.
No, that's a necessary one in here.
That and Opposition Agent, just toss both those in the bin. No, yeah, it's like I said, I think this is like a really cool deck. I love the pairings because I never would have paired these two together. I probably would have, if I was building Abdel, I would have gone like Far Traveler, where I had like the blink from the command zone as my background.
Yeah.
That's the route I would have gone. I never would have thought of like going like the life drain token generate. Like that's what I love about these like background ones. They just like make so much creativity happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm really, really enjoying these.
Yeah, I'm very excited to play. We got to get together and play some games soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been another awesome deck from Slothy. Make sure that you check it out in the show notes. Anyone who has the time to go leave us a rating review, 5 stars would be great, but go with what you feel, right? If you made it to the end of the episode, I assume you liked it, or maybe you just hate my voice so much that you got there, but still, go give me a review either way and let me know how you guys feel about the show. Reach out to us on Instagram. We're on there all the time. We love to chat about cards, or in our Discord. Again, thank you so much, everyone who comes out and listens every week. We just love talking Magic, and we love that you guys give us the time of day to listen to it. So thanks so much from the bottom of our hearts, and have a great week.
Yeah, thanks for listening.